And you all in the audience may be wondering why. This is me, Superman. Adam, are you with us?
Yes, absolutely. That's great. I'll fly with you.
Are you going to do it? Let's go. Ready? Ta-da! Yay. Okay. So, Adam, we are here about the film and the project Selling Superman. It sounds
Yeah.
incredible. Tell me about this. Tell me about the journey with this project.
Yeah, I mean, like the quick hook is that there was a family, a 40-year family secret. They kept it hidden that the father had Asperger's and was hoarding and collecting comics. It ended up being a collection of 300,000 comic books and had a Superman #1 in there, one of the best top Supermans in the world, worth probably 3 or 4 million. And it ends up being a guy I went to high school with. And so, I mean, like none of us knew. We had no idea this was going on. And he trusted me enough as a longtime doc filmmaker to let me speak with him and follow his journey.
Now, why did you go into documentaries? Why was that genre so important to you?
Yeah, originally I was in comedy, right? I did improv comedy and was a comedy writer in lots of different formats. And then, to be honest, I went to India and met a wonderful master and teacher. And after studying there a long time, he said to me, "Hey, you want to take a motorcycle ride over the highest road in the world?" I didn't know how to ride motorcycles. But I thought, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Let's do the scariest thing possible. And that was my first documentary, and I really fell in love with the format. So that's the answer is once I started making them, I fell in love with the mystery of it, the unraveling. And I studied engineering, and it's much like a puzzle. And you're figuring it out as you go, and you can't write it. And that's very much what happened with Selling Superman. There's a lot in there that we did not plan on.
Now, tell me about your friend. What was his reaction after he saw this story? Because even from the trailer, I got choked
Yeah,
up. I was like,
yeah,
"Whoa!" So, you have to almost like that trust, that level of trust between the
yeah.
person that the story is about and the people telling the story. That bond, right? What was the reaction when he saw what you were able to put together?
Yeah, I mean, there is a growing movement as well in the doc world, maybe aside from reality TV, but in the doc world to really, not exploit, right, your characters, to have them a little more involved and say, hey, is this too much? Or to be showing, is this too much to reveal? So part of that trust is him knowing and some of the characters knowing, look, if we film this, but it ends up being something that's way too personal, it's okay, but allows them to open up and to go places. It's not often you get to sit with your friend's mom and say, well, what do you really like about your husband? And her talk about how it reminded him of her father in kind of a bad way, and you married the devil, um, so there was that trust, but honestly, going through it, there was a lot of difficult times. Darren, at many points in the journey, wanted to stop the documentary, to be honest, and we worked through it.
Good.
Like any relationship, there's ups and downs, but there were plenty of times, and that's partly, it's not a spoiler, how the series starts is him saying, "Why am I doing this? Why am I showing the world how messed up I am? Why would I really want to stop the film?" He's getting a lot
Yeah.
of press early on too because of the collection, and that was difficult to handle while processing the death of your father, who you still have a lot of issues with. Yeah,
And like you said, that secret of like not knowing, like, you don't know if maybe your dad's in the CIA. You don't know. You know something's not exactly right, but you don't know what it is, right? You're not exactly
yeah,
sure, you know. And with in comic books back in the day, the reason that I find that it's outstanding that this collection is as pristine as it is that
yeah,
people, it's like baseball cards. People used to take the baseball cards, right? And they used to put it on the spokes of their wheels, going right with the
yeah.
bubble gum, right? That came in it. You know,
Exactly.
the the fact that these rare treasures somehow he had the foresight or just the want to curate that is remarkable in itself. They wouldn't be
Yeah,
there if it wasn't for what he did with them.
absolutely. That's the tough part to reconcile, is that it's an amazing collection that some experts would say this is like a full-time job for 30 years to collect this kind of comic book collection. But he collected in a very strange way that makes one think it's more leaning toward obsession and hoarding than it is master collecting, because
Yeah.
he would have 100 copies of a Star Wars one, and people don't tend to have multiple copies. They get a copy or two, and then they want to fill in holes of a collection. Um, so he didn't really even read the books, to be
Yeah.
honest. He
It
didn't
was
share the
the
books with his son, none of that.
Yeah. So it was both the breadth and the depth of his collecting, right?
And the
Now,
quality, as you mentioned, the absolute pristine nature, because he wasn't reading them, he was really buying them, putting them away, covering it, and that's it. So they stayed
yeah,
amazing.
amazing. When it was completed, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a little sorrow, like when the baby is done? And I know now that it's going to like festivals and it's being shown, or does that kind of, after someone sees it, rejuvenate the joy for you?
Yeah, no, there's no sorrow for sure. No, not at all. I love finishing a film. That's a thing in itself. I love birthing it and letting it go out there and see what people's reactions will be. So we're in that phase, where we just had a LA premiere, and to watch 200 people react and have an experience together is fun and really fascinating for me to see how people, in the digital age can actually be in one room and have an experience together. So no sadness about being done with it, because I think it also was a pilgrimage and a difficult journey, for more so for Darren than anyone. And to be honest, it's still challenging for him, to now face it coming out in the press and being in the spotlight. But he's doing really well with that, I think.
Well, it's good that you have that friendship and that bond because
Yeah.
there's the trust between you, and that's kind of cool that you're doing this together. I mean, sometimes people, still play like adult softball or something, and here you guys are doing this documentary together. When you What's next for you? Like, what is on that next journey? And I know that you also have like an interesting day job too that you kind of combine with this documentary, right? What else are you doing in your life?
Well, no, my day job is making documentary films. That is absolutely my day job. Are you referring to meditation and things like that?
Yes,
Is that what you're getting
yes,
at? Yeah,
yes.
yeah. No,
Okay, wait,
meditation. I
wait. Did you not get my segue? I probably could have been a little wittier doing it, but I tried. So yes, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love teaching meditation. I love sharing meditation. I love sharing, yoga on the beach, pilgrimages in general. That's why a lot of my documentaries have an underbelly of consciousness or awakening. And this was a cool movie to slightly have that in there, the hand of consciousness, the hand of awakening, because those are questions I'm asking and looking at. And Darren knew that going in, and it's hard for someone to necessarily take a pilgrimage when that's not what they necessarily want to, but kind of when you get on board with me in a film, that's what happens. Because I like it, and I really love teaching meditation. I just actually led a meditation right before this. That's more of a, something where it's been so offered to me, I want to give it back. The meditation that I've learned in India and such.
I thank you for that. And I know that I had shared with you that we're putting together these 4 big stockings for hurricane relief, for both Hurricane Helene and also Milton. And thank you for that, because I know that you're going to be gifting us with those certificates. So I thank you so sincerely for that. So kind of
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely. If I can bring a little
Um,
peace to somebody in that time, through the meditation, that's an amazing thing.
Love that. We just did a prior segment today. Maybe we'll put you on the same show talking about the Love Tower. So it has been
Yeah.
a delight to meet your acquaintance, even though it's not in the 3-dimensional world. Hopefully someday it will be. And I'm
Yeah.
wishing you just all the joy. Thank you for coming on the show. I was so excited when I first saw it on our mutual friend Kevin Shinnick's wall, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "What is selling Superman?" You had me from the da 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 hello, but thank
Yeah,
you,
the
Adam.
trailer the trailer kinda it brings people in. It shows you that there's more to it than just comics in this doc series, for sure. Thanks for
Absolutely.
having me
And
on.
please give my sincere well wishes to your friend that this whole documentary and everything is about his family. Tell him thank you. Thank you for allowing you to share the story, because it's going to make a big difference for people. So thank you for that. Please,
I will.
on
I
my
will tell
behalf,
him.
say thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Happy
Absolutely.
journeys to you until we get to see each other in person.
Absolutely.
All
See
right.
you.
Be well, Adam. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go. You can Google it. You can learn more. Fascinating documentary. And like just watching the trailer made me tear up. So thank you for watching. And please follow Adam and all the cool things that he's doing. Namaste.